Hey everyone, it's me. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be showing you guys something that Mac users wish they had on their machines. But before I show you that, if you like tech news reviews and opinion videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss another video. So I know what you're thinking. This is clickbait. There's no way Windows has anything that would make Mac users jealous. Well, actually there is, and it's been there for years. But most people have never used this feature because it's kind of hidden and not really advertised by Microsoft. But once you learn about it, it's something that you would absolutely want on your Windows machine. This feature is called App Folders, and it basically allows you to create folders out of apps just like you can do on Mac OS. Now, before you go ahead and open up the Microsoft Store to download an app folder program, this is a feature built into Windows 11 natively. And all you need to do to access it is right-click on your Start menu, then go to Windows Settings, then select Personalization, then select Start, and then select App Folders. When you first open up the App Folder settings, you'll see a section that says Show App Folder and Start. This setting will simply add an app folder icon to your Start menu, similar to how it appears on the Mac. When you click on it, you'll be able to drag out any app from your All Apps list into your app folder, just like on Mac OS. You can create multiple folders with different apps in them, and you can also drag out the app folder icon itself to your desktop. Then, whenever you double-click on the icon, you'll be able to view all of the apps inside of the folder. Now, unfortunately, when you go to drag out an app from your app folder on your desktop, it won't let you do that. You have to go back to the app folder in the Start menu to remove apps from a folder. In my opinion, this is probably a good thing because it prevents someone from accidentally removing an app from its folder. If it's on their desktop, so say you have two copies of your Photoshop folder on your desktop, one for your light mode apps and one for your dark mode apps. If you were to drag the app folder icon onto your Photoshop Light Apps folder, it would remove the shortcut from your desktop, but not actually remove the app from the folder itself. So I understand why Microsoft did that. One of the best things about app folders, though, is that you can even create folders within the app folders themselves. So you can have one app folder for all of your apps, and then other folders inside of that app folder for organization purposes. Here's an example. I could have an app folder called Creative Cloud Apps, and then inside of that folder, I can have subfolders such as Adobe Apps, Avid Apps, Corel Apps, etc. Then I can drag out any app from my All Apps list into those subfolders. Now what really makes this powerful is that you can have one app folder on your desktop for light mode and another app folder for dark mode. Then depending on what theme you have set, it'll only show one of them. Another great thing about app folders on Windows is that you can drag an app folder onto your taskbar. When you do this, it'll automatically create a taskbar shortcut for that app folder. When you click on it, it'll open up just like it does from the desktop or the Start menu. Something else you can do with the app folders on your taskbar is hover over the app folder and then right-click on it. From here, you'll be able to quickly pin any app from that folder directly to your taskbar without having to open it up first. This is especially useful if you have an app that you use quite often pinned to your taskbar. For example, I have an app folder called Video Editing Apps that contains all of my editing apps. I can easily drag any one of them onto my taskbar and then remove the shortcut when I'm done using that app. If you look at it, having app folders on your taskbar is essentially the same as having a dock like you do on the Mac. So now we have app folders that can be added to our taskbar and opened up just like an app. We can also have app folders on our desktop that behave just like folders do on a Mac. We can drag and drop files into these app folders, and they'll get added just like they do on a Mac. You can even drag and drop a file from a running app into a folder and then into another app. But there's one more thing that Mac users love about app folders, and that's the ability to pair apps with their own spaces on the computer. To do this, you just have to add an empty folder to your app folder. Once you've done that, you can right-click on the app folder in the Start menu and select Set as Default Space. Then whenever you drag out the app folder icon to your desktop, you'll see that it has a small icon next to it, which indicates that this is your default space. To change the default space, you just have to go back into the app folder in the Start menu. Right-click on the app folder and select Set as Default Space. You can also set keyboard shortcuts for each of your app folders. To do this, you just have to right-click on an app folder on your desktop and select Properties. Then under the Shortcut tab, you can set a keyboard shortcut for that app folder. Then whenever you hold down the Windows key and press that shortcut, it'll open up just like it would if you clicked on it. Windows app folders are very similar to Mac OS app folders, but they're not exactly the same. One big difference is that on Mac OS, if you hold down the Command key and click on an app folder, you'll be able to quickly open up that app. On Windows, however, if you hold down the Windows key and click on an app folder, it'll open up the Properties menu for that app folder instead. Another major difference between Windows app folders and Mac OS app folders is the fact that Windows will allow you to have an app folder as your background. If you try to do this on a Mac, your Mac will simply crash. So overall, app folders on Windows are a great tool for keeping your desktop clean and organized. They're easy to use and they work very well. If you're a Windows user, make sure to enable this feature and give it a try. And if you're a Mac user who's always complaining about how much better your operating system is than Windows, remember that it's not the operating system that matters, it's how you use it. So if you're a Mac user who's still using folders, you're just doing it wrong. Alright, so now I want to hear from you guys. You guys like this Windows feature? If you're a Mac user, would you switch to Windows just to use this feature? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss another video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.